Hello and welcome to FPL Waffle, a review of Game Week 12, a look ahead to Game Week 13. And basically, since I've gone rogue and I've started playing this game way more aggressively, I've had one more fun and I've also been more successful. So let me talk you through how I did this week. So Flecken I had anyway, and he finally got a return for Brentford, finally a clean sheet, 9 points, happy days. Gabriel was one of my transfers in this week for Trent, who was injured, so he got the clean sheet, so paid off the hit for him. Dallo and Aït-Nouri didn't return, but such is life. Into midfield, very pleased I captained Salah. It was a toss-up between him and Palmer, but with Salah's form at the moment and Southampton on paper just seemed like the best fixture. I had to go there, and I was very pleased I did. The rest of midfield absolutely flopped, unfortunately. I was tempted by doing Rodgers to someone else this week, like a Saka who smashed it or a Matoma who smashed it. But I held him home to Palace. I fancied them. They got a goal, but Rodgers didn't return, unfortunately. And then up front, Cunha with 16 points absolutely smashed it for me. He's the reason basically I've got a green arrow. And then Isak was one of my other transfers in, took a hit for him. Bit disappointing to get home to West Ham. But again, is what it is. He has a decent fixture next week. The other transfer I forgot to mention was Palmer. I was always going to bring him in this week. And yeah, a bit unlucky not to get anything against Leicester, particularly as Madueke blocked his shot on the line. Porro's 14 on the bench looks very painful. And it does feel a bit painful because I haven't had a sort of attacking return, at least for the goal, I don't think, from him all season. And the one time he scores, he's on my bench. But away to City, I wasn't going to start him. So it doesn't bother me. If I was never going to start someone, it's like, it is what it is. Just a bit unlucky that, yeah, he scored and they got a clean sheet away at City when you thought they were guaranteed to at least concede one. The team this week pretty much is going to stay as this. Great fixtures at the back for these guys. The only transfer that's going to happen, I think, is going to be Rodgers to Matoma. Brighton now have a brilliant fixture run. I'll talk to you about Brighton players in a second, but basically Matoma for me is the one. What I'll say on Brighton players is I think Matoma is our most nailed attacker. Because there's no real competition in the left wing spot, and he's been playing so well this season. He's been creating most of our chances. Has a goal in him, as proven this game week. I just want a bit of Brighton, and I feel like he's going to be, particularly through this busy schedule. I'm quite confident he's going to start almost every game. So Matoma's going to come in for Rodgers for home Southampton, a plum fixture there. The rest of these guys have good fixtures, other than Salah, although he loves a goal against City, and City have been bad. So actually, that's looking like not a bad fixture, to be honest. And then, like I said, hopefully Isak can get something at Palace. Cunha's been smashing it. Hopefully at Bournemouth, home to Bournemouth, another good fixture. Shame I have to bench Aït-Nouri this week, but Bournemouth have a goal in them, so that's the reason I've benched him over the likes of these guys. Um, in terms of fixtures, thinking about tips for you guys. Oh, PS captaincy. I think I'm going in Mbeumo. Leicester awful. They've just lost their manager, which could be a good or bad thing, but it might end up making them worse this week. There's no like standout fixture really beyond that. Okay, Villa can see goals. City haven't been great, and Salah's a big game player. Like I'm tempted by those guys, even Fernandes against Everton. But I don't know. I just want to go a bit different this week. And Leicester's a plum fixture. We know Mbeumo has a goal in him, an assist in him, penalties in him. We're going for it. We're going for it. So fixtures wise, for you guys for tips, kind of Arsenal's run just continues to be great. Um, Brighton, so as I've mentioned to you already, they go on a brilliant little fixture run here. So let me do my little Brighton bit now. So my top sort of targets I'd say to suggest for Brighton players would be, so let's get up the Brighton team sheet. Stats, Brighton. So we've got Welbeck. I think you can't really go too wrong with. The only thing with rotation risk is like Ferguson could get some minutes off him. João Pedro could get some minutes off him if they then play Jorginho in behind in Pedro's spot. But basically, Pedro, Mitoma, Welbeck, and Jorginho Rutter, they're probably going to be our front four for the foreseeable. So if you have a sort of gut feeling about any of those, no arguments at all. Pedro, likely on penalties, is looking great. So I really like him. If you want a striker, he'd probably be the one I'd go for. So I'd say if you had to go for if you wanted anyone and you out of the attackers, I'd probably say Pedro because of the penalty factor. Because I need a midfielder, that's why Matoma's coming in. And like I said, I do think he's quite nailed. So I think I'd go Pedro, then probably just about Matoma, then Welbeck, then Jorginho Rutter, because I think there might be more rotation with Rutter, particularly if he's playing in the right spot. Adingra Minte might get some minutes off him. And then going through the rest of the team, Verbruggen obviously is looking pretty nailed in goal. Van Hecke is very nailed at the back for us. So I'd probably go there if you wanted a nailed defender. Um, Kadoglu's out. Where's the other guy? Estepinian. Has he kept playing for us? Look at that. 490s in a row, and we know how attacking Estepinian can be FPL history wise. So Estepinian's another one I'd seriously look at if you fancy the defender. It'd be between him. If you've got the money, Estepinian for defensively. If you don't have the money, Van Hecke. And then yeah, Verbruggen if you need a goalie, obviously. And then as I've discussed, the front four. So there's the sort of little bit on Brighton. Really quickly, other fixtures to sort of note. So Brentford's good fixture run ends this week, so it might be a bit late to hop on Mbeumo if for some reason you're still not on him. Semenyo's suspended this week, so you can't really look there. I wouldn't really fancy anyone for Bournemouth. Anyone else? Nicholas Jackson, if you haven't got him. Well, Palmer, if you don't have him already, go there. If you need a striker, Jackson's another good one to look at in good form, good fixture run. Villa can see goals, I mentioned earlier. He looks all right. Beyond that, this week, I mean, it's obviously a tough fixture there for the big two teams there. United's sort of good little fixture run of three comes to an end here. Newcastle have a couple of bad ones, but here I'm very much looking to sort of reconsider Newcastle again. I've got Isak at the moment, but he may well become Watkins next week for this sort of little patch. But I'll talk to you more about that next week. Forest, it's like if you want to punt on Wood for a week, I know he got benched against Arsenal, but surely he's not going to be benched twice in a row of the form he's been in. Home to Ipswich, if you wanted even just like a 1 week punt and you don't have Wood, like I'm really up for that. I'm even half tempted to bring him in this week, but I don't think it's worth it for 1 week if I'm going to take a hit. And then Spurs, their fixtures aren't looking too bad. They just crushed City. The likes for Heung-min Son, the likes for Solanke. If you don't have Porro, I still really like him. Yeah, I don't hate going Spurs this week. And then Wolves still continue to have a lot of lovely fixtures. So again, Eight Nuri in defence, I'd go for if you want a defender. Cunha's form up front's been unbelievable. He's very hard to look past at the moment. So yeah, they're the names I chuck out for those guys. We'll leave it there for the fancy football content. If you're here purely for that tune off now, if you're staying around for the Pokemon pack, another pack of Paradox, Rift, can we get anyone at all to write home about after I think we got a blinder last week and I just sold it on eBay for 20 quid, so happy days. It doesn't look like anything at all other than a standard Zekrom Hollow. Nothing to write home about whatsoever, but you're going to get a standard pack from time to time. Just checking I haven't missed anything. No, I haven't. Thanks for watching. I do hope you have a wonderful game week. I'm excited we're now into a really wonderful run of Premier League football without an international break for a long time. Constant fixtures, happy days. Enjoy it. Have a good game week. Thanks for listening. Please like and subscribe if you found this at all useful or interesting or have liked following these videos. They're never any longer than this sort of time. And yeah, comment if you have any questions or anything you want to share. Yeah, you know the drill. Love you lots. Thanks for listening and catch you all on the next one.